This is the Arctic, a world of frozen tundra and endless white, where the sun rarely shines and the shadows of fearsome hunters linger on the ice. And this is one of those forgotten hunters. In today's episode, we're exploring the final strongholds of some of the most feared predators in the Arctic. The Arctic fox, the polar wolf, and the snowy owl, whose existence depends on a delicate balance that's under constant threat. In the barren landscapes of the Arctic, where life seems almost impossible, there exists a creature perfectly adapted to its harsh surroundings, the Arctic fox. Beyond the frozen landscapes of the Arctic Circle, where icy winds howl across the barren tundra, there exists a predator that embodies both power and grace, the polar wolf. With piercing yellow eyes and heart-shaped face, it reigns supreme over the frozen tundra. The delicate balance of this frozen ecosystem is being disrupted, impacting the very survival of its inhabitants. And snow, where the silence is deafening and the shadows of predators linger. In this frozen wasteland, the Arctic fox, polar wolf, and snowy owl stand as symbols of resilience and tenacity. These magnificent creatures have adapted to the harsh conditions of their environment, showcasing nature's incredible ability to thrive even in the most challenging circumstances. Yet despite their strength and adaptability, they face a constant struggle for survival. The melting permafrost, dwindling prey, and encroaching humans pose significant threats to their existence. As the Arctic ecosystem shifts and changes, these predators must adapt or perish. But their fate serves as a reminder of the fragility of our planet's ecosystems and the far-reaching consequences of climate change. The Arctic fox, the polar wolf, and the snowy owl are not just animals, they are indicators of the health of the Arctic ecosystem. Their survival depends on the delicate balance of the environment, and their struggles reflect the challenges faced by countless other species in a rapidly changing world. It is a call to action for us all to recognize the importance of preserving the natural world and protecting the magnificent creatures that inhabit it. For in their fight for survival, we see our own reflection and the challenges we face in safeguarding the planet we call home. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the frozen heart of the Arctic. Until next time, may the spirit of adventure guide you and the wonders of nature inspire you. One of the most significant impacts of climate change is the melting of the permafrost. This has profound implications for the polar bears, which rely on the ice-jammed waters for hunting. As the ice melts, their access to essential food sources diminishes, forcing them to venture further in search of sustenance. This not only increases the energy expenditure for the polar bears, but also exposes them to greater risks and challenges. Furthermore, the warming climate leads to changes in precipitation patterns, affecting the distribution and abundance of prey species such as lemmings, which serve as a vital food source for many Arctic predators, including the Arctic fox and snowy owl. The decline of lemongrass populations can have cascading effects on the entire food chain, impacting the survival of these predators that depend on them for sustenance. Climate change also brings new challenges in the form of diseases and parasites. As temperatures rise, there is an increased risk of the introduction and spread of diseases and parasites that can devastate Arctic wildlife populations. These pathogens can weaken the animals, making them more susceptible to mortality and impacting their reproductive success. Additionally, rising temperatures can also lead to more frequent and intense wildfires in the Arctic region. These fires not only destroy essential habitats, but also release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to further warming and exacerbating the problem. Moreover, human encroachment and activities pose additional threats to the Arctic's fragile ecosystem. As human populations grow and industrial activities expand, there is an increased risk of habitat destruction, pollution, and the introduction of invasive species. These factors can have devastating consequences for native Arctic species, disrupting the ecological balance and threatening their survival. These majestic birds possess the uncanny ability to vanish into the blinding white snow, becoming one with the Arctic landscape. Their feathers provide insulation, keeping them warm in sub-zero temperatures while their nocturnal habits allow them to hunt in darkness. The snowy owl's exceptional hearing enables it to detect the faintest rustle of its prey beneath the snow, such as lemmings, voles, and other small mammals. Armed with razor-sharp talons and a powerful beak, it swiftly delivers fatal blows to its unsuspecting victims. Despite their solitary nature, these raptors come together during mating season. Male and female snowy owls perform intricate aerial displays, a mesmerizing ballet against the backdrop of the northern lights. Once bonded, they share parental duties, incubating eggs and caring for their young. Nesting on the open tundra presents its own set of challenges. The lack of trees necessitates the use of low-lying vegetation or simply the bare ground as a nesting site, leaving the owls vulnerable to predators. Nevertheless, the snowy owl stands as a symbol of resilience and adaptability, thriving in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. But even these magnificent creatures face their own set of challenges. As the Arctic ecosystem shifts and changes, the snowy owl must adapt to survive. The disappearance of prey species due to climate change can impact their food supply, forcing them to hunt over larger areas and expend more energy in search of sustenance. Additionally, the changing landscape may also expose their nests, making them more vulnerable to predators and reducing their chances of successfully raising their young. The future of the snowy owl hangs in the balance, dependent on its ability to adapt to the changing conditions of the Arctic. As the world changes around them, these majestic creatures face isolation and dwindling prey, forcing them to roam farther and longer in search of sustenance. Once the sea ice retreats after the summer melt, polar bears move further north in pursuit of their primary prey, bearded seals. This migration separates the polar wolf packs over vast distances, limiting their chances of reunion. Packs become isolated, each struggling to survive on their own. Each member of the pack is a hunter, playing a crucial role in the group's survival. The bonds within the pack are strong, with parents instilling essential skills in their pups, teaching them the ways of the hunter and preparing them for the challenges that lie ahead. But the harsh environment of the Arctic poses constant threats. As temperatures rise and the sea ice melts, the polar bears' traditional hunting grounds disappear. This forces them to venture farther and farther in search of food, leading to long journeys across the barren landscape. These epic treks can span up to 60 kilometers in a single day, exhausting the polar bears and increasing the energy expenditure needed to sustain themselves. During these arduous journeys, the polar bears rely on their exceptional stamina and endurance, traits honed over thousands of years of evolution in the unforgiving Arctic wilderness. The melting ice also affects the availability of prey. Bearded seals, the polar bear's primary food source, depend on the ice for breeding and resting. As the ice melts, these seals retreat further north, making them harder for polar bears to reach. This scarcity of food puts immense pressure on the polar bears, forcing them to adapt or perish. Their survival now hinges on their ability to navigate this changing environment, find alternative food sources and perhaps most importantly, adapt to the diminishing hunting grounds. The polar bear, once the undisputed king of the Arctic ice, finds itself at a crossroads. Will it rise to the challenge and adapt to the changing environment, or will it become a victim of the relentless march of climate change? Only time will tell. With its thick, luxurious fur coat, this small canid blends seamlessly into the white expanse, becoming one with the snow. Its bushy tail acts as a warm blanket on its petite body, while its compact ears and muzzle minimize heat loss. As an added measure, the Arctic fox has the remarkable ability to tuck its tail between its legs, reducing its exposed surface area to conserve precious body heat. When temperatures plummet, this behavior becomes a matter of life and death. To survive in such extreme conditions, the Arctic fox has developed incredible skills. It can sniff out lemmings from beneath the snow, its primary source of food. After burying their prey, the foxes return to their cache later, relying on their keen sense of smell to locate their hidden stash. This adaptation ensures that they have a steady supply of nourishment even during the harshest winters. But the Arctic fox is more than just a skilled hunter and gatherer. It is also a master of disguise. Its white winter coat allows it to camouflage against the snowy backdrop, making it nearly invisible to predators like wolves and owls. However, once spring arrives and the snow melts, the Arctic fox must once again change its appearance. Shedding its thick winter coat, it reveals a brown summer coat, allowing it to blend into the rocky terrain. This seasonal transformation is not merely a fashion statement, but a vital adaptation for survival. During the summer months, the Arctic fox primarily subsists on berries, with the occasional fish or bird providing some much-needed protein. Lemmings, which are absent during this time, will return in the fall, marking the beginning of the Arctic fox's true feast. Once the snow returns, these little predators hunt daily, eating up to 1,600 grams of lemmings in a single day. They don't only eat meat, though. The Arctic fox is known to cache food as well, burying leftovers from their previous night's meal or other scavenged food so that they can retrieve it later. This habit helps them survive times when food is scarce, ensuring they always have access to essential nutrients. Despite its small size, the Arctic fox is a fierce and tenacious creature. It plays a crucial role in the Arctic ecosystem, keeping the lemming population in check and serving as prey for larger predators itself. Its adaptability, intelligence, and sheer determination make it a formidable survivor in one of the harshest environments on Earth. So join me as we uncover the secrets of their survival. Hi, I'm the host, and this is my channel. From icy plains to desolate wastes, these animals face harsh conditions and dwindling prey, forcing them to adapt or vanish. But it's not just nature's forces that pose a threat. Human encroachment adds another layer of complexity to their struggle for survival. Will they be able to adapt in time? Let's find out. The Arctic fox, shadow in the snow. The polar wolf, ice-laced isolation. The snowy owl, silent sentinel. Amidst the desolate beauty of the Arctic wastelands, there exists a hunter that embodies wisdom and power, the snowy owl. Climate pressures. The Arctic, or realm of ice and snow, is facing unprecedented changes as global temperatures rise. On the edge of the Arctic, where the sun struggles to penetrate the perpetual twilight, there exists a world of ice.